So this is the bracket that holds on the passenger side window wiper. I remember trying to do this right at the start, trying to screw it out instead of stripping out the Phillips heads. So I kind of just moved on to something that was a bit easier. So I had to find something else to hold my microphone. I managed to get in there with these side cutters and kind of start to turn them out. And then in the process, I managed to break all three of the heads off. So luckily there's quite a decent amount of thread sticking out the other side. So my plan is just to screw this little nut on here. And then I'll give it a quick tap with the welder. And then hopefully they'll screw out. So one of the fondest memories I have of this car was back in my motocross days when I was about 15, and there was an event about 2 hours north of Auckland, and Dad didn't want to tow a trailer the whole way up there through the Auckland motorway. So instead, he took the back seats out of here, and we took the front wheel and the back wheel off my YZ85, and I think maybe the front guard as well, and put the bike back here and cruised on up. I was thinking about it. Those are the sort of memories that could only be created in a car like this, because I don't think anyone's pulling the back seat out of their Audi or their Volkswagen and doing the same thing. So yeah, a really cool memory. Having way more trouble with this back one, but I reckon when I get this piece of channel out of here, if that'll come out, I reckon I'll be okay. Yeah, it took me ages to get that bit of channel out. I had to cut away. It was becoming embarrassing. So I think being an electric window, you know, it does make it a little bit harder. You got to like deal with this big chunky thing here that was still bolted on and kind of making it hard to get out. But I don't know, either I'm just like doing it wrong, or otherwise it might just be one of those really fiddly, you know, kind of prick of a job type things. Actually, speaking of prick of a job, I'm missing this door lock knob up here. And the story goes that when I was a kid, I unscrewed it and threw it out the window. So I guess it's a bit like when I spilt the raspberry Coke in the back seat and stained it. You know, prick of a kid, should have been better behaved. Here I am again, 35, 40 years later, it's come back to haunt me. Done. Didn't actually need to label these ones, I can just screw them back into the part that I took out. Remember at the end of my last video how I said I just had a few more little bits and pieces to go? And that was true, but these little bits and pieces, man, I tell you, they're like usually the hardest. They take forever. So what you'll notice here about this ding in the rear bumper, it's basically the same shape as a number 1 strainer post. And what happened was Dad was saying that he was cruising down the tanker track and the milk tanker pulled in, so he had to reverse up back out of its way. And yeah, unfortunately backed into a strainer. So it's kind of jammed the tail light in there, so I can't get the tail light out. So of course, to get the bumper off, ideally I'd take the tail light out first, but that's not going to happen, and there's a bolt that's tucked in behind that little bracket there, and it's just one of those ones where I've got a ring spanner and there's all these little sharp things sticking everywhere, and I just know I'm going to lose skin. Sweet, managed to keep all my skin intact. Well, still in one piece, I didn't break it, but you can see it's got a few cracks down the bottom there. I'm pretty sure that would fail the compliance test, so I'll have to get some new lenses, but I have seen those advertised on Trade Me, and I think Rare Spares may have some, so you can see it's quite broken on the side there. Cool. That's it. That's the last part that I'll be taking out. And that's step 3 complete. This last part I've found the hardest of the whole thing. You know, all these little bits and pieces I thought that were going to be easy ended up being really hard. Probably the most frustrating part of this whole procedure. So, but you know, pleased to be here. It's gone pretty well, you know, for the most part. I only ended up bleeding badly once, which that's pretty good. Yeah, you know, on to the next step now, which is the car's going to go to the restorer this week, so looking forward to that. I've left a few things on, like the restorer asked me to leave the doors on there. I'm not quite sure why, but that was going to be helpful for him. And a few things like the trims around those door windows, you know, it'll take the restorer 10 minutes to take those off, and it'll take me like 2 minutes to break them, and then 8 months to find some new ones. Okay, so I've got my next video I can start editing now, and I've got something that I've been really looking forward to doing, so I'm going to have that one for the next video. I'm really looking forward to that, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. And oh no, there goes the screw. Got it. So cheers guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.